Welcome to Keepsix, where we always keep it real. I'm your host, Kenny, and we're back with episode 4. And today we're going to be talking about interracial relationships, colorism, and we're going to talk about light skin versus dark skin perspectives. I want to know from the female side, how do you guys feel about dating somebody that's not within the race or, you know, skin complexion, or not somebody who was brought up with the same upbringing as you? You know, like, you guys are obviously black, you guys come from a different upbringing. If you were to date a white guy or somebody else with a different ethnicity, what challenges can you guys probably face?
I think the biggest one would be wondering, like, how to act around his family. Like, okay. I know my family, like, especially being of, like, Jamaican descent, we're kind of open, warm people. So, like, we're used to seeing and knowing how every other culture acts.
Yeah, but we're rude too. You know?
Yeah,
you're gonna get judged.
You're gonna get judged, but you're not. But at the same time, it's like a jokey judge. Like, they're not gonna straight off, depending on how rude your family is. They're not like, you're gonna be called some type of name. Like, even if you're not Indian, you're gonna be called Indian or whatever.
It's all gonna be jokes.
It's all gonna be jokes though. But
if they don't like you, like, that's it. Like, they're gonna let you know they don't like you.
Yeah.
So they don't even try to hide it. They won't, like.
They don't.
So they're not gonna hide it. They're gonna give you some next cut eye. You're not gonna be.
Especially your grandparents.
They're not gonna say hi to you. They're just gonna ignore you. But like but I think one of the biggest problems, like, well, especially as a black person, there's already so much stigma around it, and then they already portray, like, have so much negative stereotypes about us. It's gonna be even harder, like, oh, their mom's not gonna like me, or they're gonna think I'm so ratchet if I, like, talk a little bit too loud or something. So I think that would be the biggest deal. Like, even if the person I'm dating is okay with me because they're exposed to my culture, doesn't mean their parents are. So that's one thing.
How do you guys feel about that?
My biggest worry is just acceptance.
Acceptance, but it's from your family or from their family. You want their family to accept you, or you're more concerned about your family accepting
my partner, my interracial partner.
Do you think it's harder for, like, a white family to accept the fact that you're black?
Yes.
They come off ignorant. Depending on the family, they come off ignorant, and it's like, it's hard because you can't go against your man's, like, you know, mother per se. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always going to be like, you know, is he going to choose his mother or his sister's side over yours or whatever? Absolutely. But it's hard because a lot of the times they just don't understand where you come from. Like, me being mixed, like, my Jamaican side's cool or whatever, where they're nice, they're accepting. But they have no filter. Like, they're not going to sugarcoat anything around you at all.
That could be a good thing, though, I think.
It could be a good thing, but at the same time, if they do not like you, like, it's going to be problems. And it's going to carry on forever. And every member of the family is going to catch on because it's just literally gossip of the family. Whereas my white side, like, they're pretty accepting too, but I've always felt growing up, like, I would say I'm my grandparents' favorite niece. That's just because, like, I was first born. I'm the only niece on the white side, so I'm the only girl within the cousins. But at the end of the day, like, with everybody else, I just feel like I'm in my own corner because I'm the only one that has black in me, and I'm just like, I move different. And sometimes, like, they'll even joke around with me, and it's like, yo, you can't say that around me.
Wow,
and then they'll call me sensitive, but it's like, yo, like, you're my family, and you're gonna move ignorant with me. Like, imagine I bring a black guy to that side. That's like, it's hard.
Exactly. So, yo, fellas, based on that, how you guys feel? Like, do you think it's different because they're females, that they have a different experience in terms of interracial relationships, or do you think that with guys it's a little bit easier bringing any type of girl home to your mom or to your family? And it's easier
No. Okay, if you look at it right now, that's the Jamaican side. This is the African side.
Okay, so yo, enlighten me.
Because I feel like I'm Nigerian, right? But the thing is that we don't like hide it, but like they'll diss you in your own language that only you will understand. Only you understand. Like, bro, like, what you're saying about you and that girl, you start seeing what they're saying in the girl. Like, oh, she's this, she's that. Is she stupid like this? You know what I'm saying? Like, if, like,
why would your mom carry you for 9 months and then you bring her next race
a white woman to the house? Come on.
Yo, not that. I just
you
feel
can't
like,
do that.
like, Africans, yo, like, they go off stereotypes, you know? So like they don't get a chance to know the person. They're just based on stereotypes.
Yeah,
you know, they call like Jamaicans like Jamos, or all they do is
Jamos.
all they do is smoke weed. You know, they braid their hair. You know, they have dreads. All they do is like fuck each other, all that shit. Like that's what they say, like stereotypes, right? So like they put in our brains from birth. So like when we see like people who are outside our race, we automatically just judge them.
Yeah, and quite frankly, it's more of those ones where it's not even about the parent or whatever. It's personal upbringing at this point.
Yeah.
As an African guy with an African parent, the way you're raised is to cherish your own culture.
Yeah, facts.
Now, so you trying to go out of your culture to
It's
date
kind of
someone
seen
that
as
cannot
something disrespectful.
understand that. One, it's disrespectful for the family. Two, it's not comfortable for you. Because if you grew up eating fufu every night,
absolutely,
you can come and eat unseasoned chicken. It just doesn't, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you might love the girl, you really do like her, but then it's just, I'm used to just like fufu.
She could learn.
Seasoned chicken.
Yeah, I mean, at what point in time do you guys think it's your responsibility to trying to break that mold, like break that stereotype, and bring a girl home that you just really, really care about, and you say, you know what, I understand, Mom, you want me to bring home a Nigerian or a Jamaican woman, or a Jamaican man, sorry, but at what point in time you say, you know, I'm gonna put my foot down and I'm really like this person, you guys are gonna have to accept.
Back to what Sosa said. Go ahead.
To be honest, there are times where you put your foot down. In that situation, just keep it rolling. You don't put your foot down there, that's at all.
Would
just
you want to though?
Like,
is that
if
even
I
a
would
choice
want
that
to,
you would
if
want
I,
to make?
if
you
I
truly
would
fell in
want
love
to,
with
but like
somebody.
but like sometimes, if you go against your parents, it's the worst thing ever.
Hard.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
facts,
and
though.
like
It's the-
if you're
like
trying to put your
African
foot
house, come on
down,
now.
it's one of those ones where it's already to the point where whatever they're saying it in the go.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Now,
not
you
that,
have
like,
to put your foot down
like
because
Africans, they're very like old fashioned.
It's a culture
so, like,
thing.
Yeah, old
And
fashioned.
generational.
They're very old school, so like they don't like change, to be honest.
Change is hard,
true.
right?
That's true.
So wait, so are you saying you're gonna marry a Nigerian girl based on that? Like,
I
you have
mean,
to 100%?
I mean,
there's a lot of pretty them out there, but I'm just
It
saying.
has to be a Nigerian girl.
You're a
because-
liar. You're a liar. You told me the other day you want a Ghanaian.
So sad.
Yeah.
Who's only Nigerian?
Wait.
Shut up your mouth.
Chill. It's okay, yo. I feel like I'm gonna go with a Ghanaian, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
if I really have to pick, you have to give me a bad Nigerian. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
Are you really serious, Sosa?
Don't kill me.
That's what I'm saying.
So sad.
He's so extra.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, yo. I don't date African girls though.
It's
Why?
a generational
Nah, why?
thing, though.
Like, your mom's African, don't you?
Yeah,
love your
but
mother?
like, yo,
don't you want
like-
somebody to be just like?
Yeah, let me elaborate on that
Mhm.
because yo, for me, like, I don't know. I feel like the African girls in generations, they put like I don't like
In our generation, right?
Yeah, like they
Okay.
put too much expectations on a guy. Like,
That is all girls.
no, but yo, African girls take the next level. Like, if you don't drive a whip or you don't have a career and whatnot, they're not giving you the pussy still. You know, like Caribbean girls are more.
It's
that what it's
deeper
about,
than
though? It's
pussy.
deeper
No,
than that.
I'm not saying like Caribbean girls like the more lenient and like the more you know.
Good, that shit out.
But you're
Wow.
talking about right now.
Opposite for me, I can't
I
date
didn't
you
say
if
shit.
you're not super black and you're not African. I can date you if you're not like extremely black or African.
Why?
Because it's one of those ones I can't relate with you. I can't want to go see. Oh, I'm trying to listen to I'm listening to trap music and you want to play some Billie Jean.
What's wrong with Billie Jean? Michael Jackson the
no,
goal.
Billie Jean's a-
fam.
Michael
But
Jackson's
you
the
understand
goal.
what I'm
Maybe
saying?
he said, I think he meant Taylor
That's the
Swift.
goal.
Something
But
like
you
Taylor
understand
Swift.
what I mean?
I like Taylor Swift.
There's an old difference in that, which I feel like it's not comfortable for me. I can't want to dance this way, but you're not used to that.
But you
and
should
you're
be
like,
open
"Baby."
to everything.
That's the thing. Yeah.
I
that's
am
the thing.
open if I find someone that's able to relate with all of those things I like, and then she can bring me in like, okay, this is what we do here. You should not. But
So
most of the
compromise.
people that I know is one of those. It's either we're doing this our way, or we're doing this your way, which is after the interracial dating I've seen so far.
But that's like
It's
growth as
it's
well. Like, that's a
one-sided
flaw in
because I see
age.
black guys dating white girls and then they whitewash.
No.
I've seen
You can't
those-
really.
I mean, some.
There's a lot of that happening.
Some of them, yeah.
Some of
Yeah.
them.
But I'm not gonna lie, like,
it's the fear of how would I lose my African black self to a next race?
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
but I know some
That is
people
true.
like yo, they keep like they date like one race and it never works out to the point where it's like, yeah, fuck it, yo, I'm just gonna date like a white
Yeah.
guy or
Like, so ladies, have you ever heard of that? Like, oh, you're talking to a guy, you meet this guy, and he's like, oh, where are you from? Like, what's your ethnicity? And he's like, I'm Nigerian. And you're like, oh, okay, no,
Oh my God.
I can't talk to you. I can't talk to you.
Not do that.
That is my worst nightmare.
I hate that.
What is it that a guy could possibly do that'll make you say, I'm never dating anybody of his kind? Not like anybody who looks like him or acts like him, but if you're Nigerian or if you're Ghanaian, I can never date.
No, Nigerians, it's coming them there.
Chill. I need you to chill.
You guys can't cook.
It's coming them there.
Chill.
So
You guys are too dark to be talking.
Hold on, guys, hold on.
For me, it's not even to say, okay, if I dated a Nigerian and it went bad, to date another Nigerian, it's because of all Nigerians.
Yeah.
It's just like a perspective of how I see other Nigerians. Yeah, it doesn't mean I have to be friends with them. It's just like how I seen or what I see.
Oh, going based off of personal experience.
And
Okay.
then I was with a Nigerian, and then all that stuff I seen is happening, then yeah, I'm just gonna be like, okay, fuck all Nigerians. But that's not the case.
Okay.
Honestly, I used to be really open. Used to. But like the thing is, it's not like I'm super closed off to like every race and ethnicity like that I've already experienced. But it's like, it's just a preference thing. Like I just love the culture and like how, you know, a guy has to understand me and understand where I've been, what I've been through, has to relate to me, have like the same like similar character that I have. So that's why I prefer like black men, like point blank period. Like I don't think I would or can bring myself to like really date outside of that.
Have you ever tried it though? Like, don't you guys believe in opposites attract? You know?
I've tried, like I've dated a Italian, I've dated an Arab, you know, like they're
Still
completely
not the same.
different.
The sauce is different.
It's,
The sauce is just different.
and especially with their family too, like it's different. Like the Italian ones were welcoming, but like when it came down to the Arab, it was like that was sticky. That was really sticky.
Okay. Facts. Well, you know what? There's a lot of good talks, a lot of good, interesting conversations. We're gonna switch over to our next topic, which is light skin versus dark skin. And I want to know. This is within, I guess, the black community, and I want to talk about how light skins are looked as a little bit more privileged as dark skins. Dark skins have like this kind of negative connotation towards light skinned girls, and they feel like, you know, they just get the easier end. Like, I want to know with fellas first, like, do you guys prefer light skinned girls over dark skinned girls?
Huh? No, light skin girls, no.
Yo, when I was younger, I used to form over light skin shorties.
And why?
But like, there's a mental stigma that was put into me as a kid. Like, every man in my grade or in school, they always formed the light skin shorty. Like every light skin shorty was always the sweetest girl in the class for some reason.
But why?
You know? I don't know
But
why.
like, that's
It's the way it
before the
is.
glow hits, you know what
No,
I'm
it's not
saying?
even the glow. It's
Not even.
the
just
simple
because
fact
of
that she's light skinned.
Just she's light
Don't
skin.
put her
They
top
put her
over.
up.
Yeah, you know, especially if she had like curly hair.
Let's just put this
nasty.
out there right
No.
now. Light skins are the daughters of Satan.
The daughters of Jezebel. With that light skin shit. It's two daughters of
So
Jezebel.
you're gonna say that while I'm sitting right
Literally take your life and turn it all the way upside down.
I always knew Desiree was a demon, bro.
I'm not Desiree. It's not a
Jezebel is a
demon.
gangster demon.
No, but wait, I actually want you to tell me, explain
She's a
to me,
gangster
like,
demon.
Because like you were saying, from like they grow up having this
we're above everybody.
It's not like I'm saying
stigma.
you.
What-
I'm
what
just saying
status have I grown
everyone
up
Alright,
put
why
light
don't you hold
skin
it down, 'cause
above
I'm gonna
everyone,
go at
right?
this guy.
Everybody put light skin on a pedestal of they're this, they're that. They
Okay.
cannot do this. Like they're just light skinned. They're very beautiful. They're all of this. Now,
Hold on, let me say something.
this wait. Now, growing up having the knowledge of people putting you up above every other thing makes you feel like you're the shit. Like light skins move around like
They move sick.
They move sick.
They do so.
They move like
Not
they're
all, but yeah, they do
bad.
still.
I'm not saying all of them. It's quite a large amount of them do that. So now, if I like you. I see you're very beautiful.
Yeah.
You're attractive.
Yeah.
Okay, we could make something work here.
Yeah.
But because there's a whole line of guys talking to you, you decide to say, oh, I will take this one, I will take that one, I will take that one. And at the same time, I will date all three guys at the same time. Tell me where the demoness is not is. That's the demon.
Because she's light skin. She gonna date
Let me educate you guys. Let me
Go ahead,
educate you
Soja.
guys. So like, not only that, but like in television and like around the world, you know, like back in the days, like people who are more fair skinned, like they'll get better roles or better jobs, right? Because they look more white, I guess.
Yeah, more white.
You know what I'm saying? So like, that's why I feel like it kind of go like with females like straightening their hair and stuff like that. I feel like in a way it's a way of them looking more modernized. So I feel like that's one reason why like light skins are on like a pedestal, because they look more white. You know what I mean?
That's what you guys think?
Can we go bring this over here real quick?
We can bring it to the girl side real quick.
So,
Wait, but Desiree, before you go, do you guys want to say anything about how you feel towards the whole light skin versus dark skin?
No, say light skin is taking your man some way, eh?
Straight.
Team dark skin?
Just so you know.
Team dark skin?
I love you.
No, you can't really say that though, because Jamaicans, they bleach their skin.
So do you guys. Everybody does something opposite. White African, black people bleach their skin.
Right now, if you tell me to go bleach skin, you see Jamaica.
You see Vasca talk straight. Which is
Boys can talk.
Okay, yo, we're not gonna interrupt the
When you
females.
watch
Go
those
ahead.
African movies, you're telling me
it's Ghanaians, yeah, I remember.
Part 1 and 2.
You guys chase Becky's too, and what?
They look like piano keys,
Okay,
fam. Black and white,
personally,
black and white, black and white.
Just growing up, I won't like Soulja. I used to foam over like skin guys. Like T.I. was my boo. You're just
Like mixed breed or light skin?
No, light skin. Like I don't know if you're mixed
That's a good
breed, but like
question.
if your
That's
tone,
a difference.
That's a good one.
Right?
That's a good one.
if
Mixed
your
breed.
tone was light skin, that I would foam over you. But growing up and seeing the change and everything, like guys, light skinned guys particularly, it was like
Your
like,
shit
you
don't
too
stink.
cocky.
Yeah, your shit
Like,
don't stink. Yeah.
Too cocky. You guys will be in the camera doing the most.
Yeah,
and
all
you see
these
the
are
light
nonsense.
skin,
All these are
the dark skin, sorry,
Biting their
just
lips.
Licking lips.
chilling. I
Nonsense.
mean, you have the
Until
light
they
skin.
glow up, and then you see the dark skins with
And
the
you see
waves
the
just
dark
walking
skins
around
with-
like
but-
more, like you know what I'm saying? Like
He's not dark skin though.
Dark skin,
That
like
is
dark skin.
Small more on dark skin.
No, but I'm saying walking around like that, like you
Show
know,
my
the
dark skin.
cockiness and everything, like you just
Okay, so
you
Desi.
radiate sweetness. Like,
So yo,
that's
Desi,
it.
defend
Only
your
light
people.
skin, yeah.
Defend your
Defend
people.
yourself. Defend your kind.
Defend your people.
Honestly, stop being nice. Anyways, so real quick, I do agree with the social stigma that like, you know,
Light skins move
we're
sick.
cursed and we're blessed in a way because
Yeah.
I understand it could go good for us, but at the same time, it's not like we don't go through the shits too. You know what I'm saying? They'll still pick us as like the black person to fill in a role or whatever, or like, you know, for jobs or like movie roles and stuff like that or whatever. I understand what you're talking about, but at the same time, you're acting as if we did this ourselves. Like we just went out there and we just claimed that. We didn't. Y'all put the stigma on us and fill girls' heads and stuff, and then you wonder why they act like that. Listen to what you said about high school. You guys filled their heads from they're young, from high school. Then wonder why they act like that when they get older. But at the same time, I know so many dark-skinned girls, bro, they act like they're the shit. Plus the attitude on top of that. Plus, yo, just because guys are DMing a girl doesn't mean she's entertaining all of them. So yeah, some girls, light skin, dark skin, white, it don't matter. They're gonna walk around like they're the shit. They're gonna be entertaining one main guy, but at the same time,
We don't know
they're
about
gonna be
that, but-
they're gonna be juggling a lot of other guys too. They're gonna have their boobs. You know what I'm saying? A sugar daddy here,
they're
some of
single,
them.
they're
It
single.
depends.
With
It
a
depends,
different
you know?
dark skin, when you're doing all of those, it's in a way that's not gonna affect the guy. Like, have you ever, I don't know how to explain this. I don't know how to
Joker,
explain.
you sound like
No,
that's
like
the most
I
ignorant
don't
thing
know.
I've ever heard.
I don't know
Are
how
you
to
a girl?
explain this.
Wait, sorry, can you repeat what you just said?
I didn't, no,
Because I didn't hear it.
don't
I actually didn't hear what you
Actually, I
said.
didn't remember what I said.
Exactly.
You want to forget it?
Monkey.
Yeah, forget it.
No,
forget
both-
it. Just drop
I'm trying to
it.
explain this. I've seen dark skins.
Yeah.
Both guys. I have like 2 different guys you're talking to.
Okay.
Then you have the main one.
Yeah.
So you're saying light skins just don't care.
That's the point I was trying to make.
I don't care.
I think all
It doesn't
shit
matter.
does that.
Whether they,
That's
wait,
what
but
you
whether they
see.
don't
Like,
care.
bro,
doesn't mean-
facts right now are
I've seen
Wikipedia
a lot
facts.
of
It's
light
already
skins.
talking
From
to
experience,
them.
I'm speaking from experience. I've seen a lot of light skins do
Just
that,
move sick with it.
and they don't care.
So a
I've
dark
seen
skin would at
skins-
least show everybody the situation
A
and
dark
try
skin
and...
would, yeah, a dark skin. Oh, okay. You see this one guy.
No, I disagree on that one.
I've seen a lot of that happen out of experience. Out of experience.
Yo, but I'm not gonna lie though. Yo,
I've seen that happen out of
I'm not gonna lie though.
experience.
Like, look, right now, let's all men go to a club, and let's say like a girl sees a group of guys walking towards them. Chances are she's gonna take in the light skinned guy first
You
because he
must be
stands
out of
out.
your mind.
Yeah,
I'm
being
light skinned
honest.
myself. I don't listen.
I said
'cause
guys, not women. Guys.
So if
For
a
example,
woman's looking at a group of guys,
yeah, and then like, in that group of guys, like
I think she looks at all of them.
That's
but
what I
all of
just
them,
said.
but
That's
she'll
what I
stare
just
at the
said.
one she's attracted to.
That's
you know?
what I just said. I'm light skinned myself, and if I approach a group of guys, I'm gonna look at all of them as a whole. Like if you're sweeter, you're sweeter. But at the same time, I'm gonna take in everything, like from your lineup to your hair to your skin color. But at the same time, I'll go towards the dark skin over the light skin. You know what I'm saying? Like,
she said lineup, you know.
I only really like personally. My preference is brown skin and like brown skin, dark skin.
Should a preference be explained though?
Oh, that's a good question.
Should a preference, like if you prefer, like let's say for instance, I'll use myself as a scapegoat. Let's say I prefer light skinned girls. Should I have to explain that? If I like real hair, long hair, I mean, black girls have real hair too, but the texture is different. The texture is different. If I like the texture of a light-skinned girl, but not a white girl, not a black girl, but just a light-skinned girl, because she has a mix of both. Should I have to explain the fact that I like fair skin, whatever?
The only time you would have to explain it is if you're discriminating against the other, like the other types. So if you're saying like you like all of that, like yeah, that's your preference, but
it's like saying I don't like Indians because they stink.
What they do?
It's like it's
that's
like
not like saying that,
like,
but
okay,
no, I think what she's saying.
You're getting what I'm
saying. It's like you like light skins, and then
I don't like anybody else.
I approach you, and then just because I'm dark skinned, you will never even give me a chance. That is different from having a preference and being discriminated.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. So correct me if I'm wrong. So it's not like, okay, I prefer light skins. Like if I had a choice to choose between what I would prefer, it would be light skins, but I would still date a dark skin girl, a white girl.
Like let's say there's a set of twins, and then they're both the same, but you know how some twins they come out, one comes out different from the other, and they both approach you same time. You're naturally gonna be drawn to the one. Like someone told me the other day, like just because you, like, I was like, oh, why don't you like that person? Because you don't like their physical appearance. But they said to me straight up, like, if you never liked their physical appearance to begin with, you would have never got to know their personality. So there's like that whole part where it's like, yes, you could be discriminative against their physical, but you also, it's like you saying, would you never give a big girl, a really skinny girl a chance just because she's skinny? Or would you take the time to like be her friend first? Like, yeah, you don't have to be sexually attracted to her, but it's like, are you giving her a chance, period? Like, not even to be your friend.
But would you give a girl a chance that you're not sexually attracted to?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not dealing with fat things, though.
Well, we never talked about fat. She said skinny.
I know, but like, but that's my preference.
She didn't say fat, though. She said
but
skinny.
that's my preference. So like,
you're disrespectful. You wanted it to come out. You wanted it to come out.
Yo,
listen, Soldier is not ever back.
First of all, what the fuck? How can a girl just walk? Her whole body is vibrating. That's disgusting. I mean,
could you leave? Yo, listen, not everybody is blessed with this.
Oh, no, I know you want to add.
No, we don't know. We don't know.
We're not adding anybody, but like...
I wasn't here. Yo, I wasn't here, bro.
No.
Okay. Back to what I was saying. When I said, I'm going to clear this up. When I said, it's like you're not going to date an Indian because they all stink, or like, you know what I'm saying?
Like that stereotype.
The stereotype, I'm talking like, you'll say, I'm not going to date a Jamaican because all they do is smoke weed, and you know all they do is like
swear,
or like I won't date a Jamaican guy because he's gonna
have more babies,
just
or he's
you and cut, or like you know just breed you and cut,
or he's a woman beater. I'm not saying they all are, but like that's the thing.
So y'all just want to take shots.
I'm not even doing that right now.
Y'all really out here, bro. Y'all looking for something.
Okay,
but you understood what I was saying.
Absolutely. So I have one more question for this topic, and the question is, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. This is just my personal. It's not even like my viewpoint, but it's something I just noticed. Okay, so you see a lot of white girls getting lip implants, getting big asses, and that's something that's natural for black females, right? Yeah. So they want black features, but they're paying for it. So they can't really inherit it through genes, so they want to pay for it, right? And then you also see black girls wearing Malaysian hair, Brazilian hair, trying to get, where maybe going a little bit like when they do makeup, they'll do a little bit of a tone that's lighter than they are. So I'm saying parties on both sides are trying to get a little bit closer to the light skin mix, right? So aren't everybody kind of feeding into the fact that they are the not superior race, but there is like, they shouldn't have a reason to feel like their shit doesn't stink because everybody's trying to be like them in a sense. Like, this is not how I necessarily feel, but based on those things.
It's a biological thing, because if you think about it, the reason why we even like breed and crossbreed, you're not supposed. Okay, so you know why you're not supposed to like sleep with your brother or your sisters, because the bad genes that you have are more likely to get passed on if you sleep with someone as close as your gene.
Like incest.
So yeah, incest. So the reason why we're so, like, the ideal race is technically supposed to be a crossbreed of the two farthest race would be the mixed child. That's why we're naturally attracted to them. They get good genes on both sides.
Jesus Christ.
So that's why you would feel like they are the ideal race, and that's why like Latinas get the best of both worlds. like the mixed race the mixed race tends to get the best of both worlds, and we want to be more like them because not only are we naturally drawn to them biologically, but we also made them that way too. Like we've said, like that is the race we want. Because if you look at history, yes, you would say like, oh, the white slave master was attracted to like only white people or black people. Actually, before like they became like that big plantation, there was actually marriages between the white slave master and the black guy, because the black guy, but the black woman, because they were drawn to us, like they found us exotic, and then you have the mulattoes.
They seen that booty.
The mulattoes in the Caribbean. The mulattoes in the Caribbean, they were the mixed girls. They were naturally drawn to them because you have these European features, but at the same time you have black features like the buttocks and XYZ. So it was like the best of both worlds.
No, but I disagree though, because
you disagree?
Yeah, because a lot of African girls, they just kick their face, yo.
Huh?
Like I don't get like.
They what?
No, you say it goes. You know how it goes with like crossbreeds, but I feel like like there's a certain extent.
Yeah, like it's not always gonna come out perfect. You never know how your child's gonna come out. Sometimes the child will end up getting more black features than the European features.
Our gene's stronger, yeah.
Yeah, because technically the African gene is the strongest gene. Like we have the dominant gene. It was never the. If you were to if you looked at like the eye alleles and stuff like that, the blue eye is the non-dominant allele for a reason. We with brown eyes have the dominant allele. That we have the dominant traits. So that's why you will always know when someone is black. Like, is it a question?
Yeah. Even if I see a light-skinned girl, I could check. I could look at her lips, look at her eyes.
Like at most, I would think she's like Latina or something. Yeah. But I knew there was black in her somewhere.
For example, the rapper Logic. No one knew he was black.
Who's Logic?
Logic, he's a white rapper. Well, he's not.
He's white.
A white rapper.
No.
He's black. He's black.
Logic.
Google that. Google Logic.
Logic, guys. Who is Logic? That's what they said.
He's actually pretty dope. But nobody could tell he was black, and he actually has like. I could, if I look at his face, I would say there isn't.
He's straight up
white. You couldn't even tell.
Boss, check Google right now. He's
Logic black.
Logic is black.
But it's like he's a quarter or something.
No, his dad is black.
No, his dad is full black.
Yeah,
full black.
So
that's not true.
I have a question. Okay, so I have another question. Should we be like, when someone's mixed, but should we be like that type of person? How do you guys feel about someone saying like, oh, they look 100% black, but oh, I mix with like Indian, this and that. That whole stigma that's going on where they put a whole
that come with the 1% rule.
She has black.
You can tell she's half black, half white.
Say something.
There's a difference.
Say something. Say
So how do you guys feel about that?
But
like,
the white black,
do you think that everybody's trying to be mixed nowadays? Like,
say something then. Why would you ask my background?
But no, don't you think?
Hold on. We can't have multiple conversations during this. Like we gotta.
Do you feel like nowadays everybody's trying to say that they're mixed because you have like the DNA ancestry thing that's going viral where they're
I'm 1/28 of I'm 1/28 Spanish.
Like what's going on, like that whole stigma of like being mixed is like the better race.
No, it's not.
You just want to come off more exotic, like different.
I think you know what?
That's what people do.
I think, and as a host, I shouldn't be really giving my opinion, but I will say that in the United States, they just say they're either Hispanic, black, or white because they technically don't really know like that. Yeah. But I think because we're Canadian and it's like, okay, where are you from? You say, oh, I'm either from Toronto, whatever. But then you say, okay, where's your background? Then you say, okay, I'm Nigerian, I'm half this, I'm half that, or whatever, right?
Yeah, but
if you're black, you're black.
Yeah, but at the same time, like there's some Caribbeans who are, to this day, they know that their ancestors are African, but they don't want to.
I know exactly.
My mom gets offended.
I mean, look,
you
that's.
guys don't embrace it.
I'm not.
What?
Embrace what?
Embrace what?
I'm African.
You're African. My last name's Asante.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like
Ojibwe.
Jamaicans being like y'all always want to fight Jamaicans versus Africans and rate when you know we all come from the same land.
No, not necessarily. Like, the reason why we have a problem with it because you guys don't embrace it yourselves.
Who doesn't embrace it?
Well, not
Everybody
everybody
just don't.
No, but some
Like,
Caribbean.
I could literally call a
you ask?
Jamaican.
Bang, I have. That's a good
Have
question.
you had the
Hold
conversation?
on,
Who
let
have
me.
you asked?
That's a good question. Do you guys feel like Caribbean people and the whole African versus Caribbean thing? Do you feel like Caribbean people don't embrace the fact that they migrated from Nigeria?
They don't.
From
They
Nigeria?
really don't.
And do you think that causes a big?
But like the
White
thing
last
is,
name
who have
Thompson.
you asked?
All my life.
Honest.
I
Like,
always
my
ask
mom,
it.
I might know
my
that.
Can you guys go one at a
parents,
time,
my
please?
Yeah,
family-
can I
do
go,
that?
please? Can I go, please?
Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like for me, like I'm the type of person like I'm very curious and do a lot of experiments and stuff.
Experiments?
Yeah, like I'm
Kinky.
no, not kinky.
Scientist.
So what kind of experiments?
I'm a very observant type of person, right? Like I'm very analytical. So like I always want to know like why so and so is this, like why the sky is blue, why my name is Derek, so and so.
So you want to know why? You always want to know the why.
So every time I come across something that's different, you know, and like I ponder on it, right? So like every time I ask my Caribbean friends, not all of them, but some of them, so how come we don't embrace the fact that you have African heritage in you? They say, nah, I'm Jamaican, blah blah blah, or I'm this Caribbean country, but yeah, but if you look back in your ancestry.
In what
most likely they came from like West Africa, like Ghana or like Nigeria.
West Africa.
So I guess I was very different.
I'm just saying.
West
I've never
Africa
been like that.
Ladies, go
And
ahead.
I say like you guys have the opportunity to like
To have the best of both
worlds. You know?
Okay, so when you're asking your friends that,
Yeah.
also ask them who they prefer, because most of the times, the people that don't know that their ancestry is from Africa, one, never studied
So it's
it.
ignorance,
Two,
yeah.
it's ignorance. They probably prefer the European features in the first place.
But why is
so
it
then
like that,
after.
I used to
Because
be like
of
that when I was
that
younger.
is
Until I
that
learned,
is
you
the
know.
slave. That is just the culture of our. Like, I'm not gonna front. That is our culture. Like the way it started off, like, oh, if you're light skin, oh, brown skin, light skin, like you brown sugar, like, and then they wouldn't even look at you. From a child is like 2-3 years old, they're already perming your hair, making it straight. If one time my own grandmother, I didn't want to straighten my hair anymore. And I went to her, like I was going out with her, and I decided to just put my hair in one and have like 2 little braids. My grandmother told me straight up, next time make my mom do my hair, my mom's a hairdresser, to straighten it out. That's what she meant. And it's like, why? But my hair was nice. My mom liked it. If my mom thought my hair was like something else, she wouldn't have sent me.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So it's just like, that's just their mentality. Like my grandmother's mentality is very ignorant, and then it passes down onto people. So the further you go into like the country, the more likely they're still gonna have that same mentality where
Can we
one
agree
race
that that's
is changing.
changing now though?
It's-
I see it a lot.
It's changing.
But it's our generation. I'm just saying, like our parents and they have beyond, like they have that old school mentality. Like for example, for me, like my mom didn't really like the fact that I braided my hair. They think that I'm trying to portray myself as
Yeah, you
Caribbean.
couldn't even grow your hair without them
And
saying
I said that's not the
something.
case. It's just,
How did she
I
feel
live
about your piercings?
even that too. She thought I was a gangster, you know, I'm like trying to, yeah, you know. And I said, Mom, like, I'm trying to understand that like I wasn't raised in your demographics.
Yeah.
So things are gonna change. Like I feel like even now, like in the future when I have kids, they're gonna have a different mindset than I had when I was.
Yeah,
a kid.
of
You know what I'm
course,
saying?
most
Like,
definitely.
I feel like they're gonna embrace more interracial relationships and so forth.
They're gonna welcome
they're
other
accepting it.
cultures.
Yeah, so me knowing this, so like,
No.
I feel like
This man
that
say no,
alone,
why?
like I evolved more than how my parents did.
So do you have something to say?
I know.
Boss, because like me as a person, if I have kids, I can't let my kid bring a white person to the house.
Let's go white. A different race.
Why?
Yo, fam, we live in Canada, but go on, please.
No.
Where's my phone? We're not in Nigeria, but go.
Where's my phone?
I'm sorry.
Let's spotlight on you now.
Do it. Put spotlight. I'm right here.
Yeah,
I don't-
please
I don't
explain
want that
though.
shit.
But
Because
why
like,
though?
because like, I don't know. I feel like It's just
the culture is just different.
I keep saying my mind can't open.
So you
I'm so sorry.
So
Did you ever date a white girl? Can you ever date a white girl?
I can't.
Never.
I'm sorry, fam.
So you've never been with a white girl, kissed a white girl, nothing like you?
I've never had anything with a white girl.
Their fingers are what?
I like him.
I've
never had anything with a
It's
white
always
girl.
ignorance at its top.
No, this is not even about ignorance.
If you don't try something, you'll never know if you like it or not.
It's not about ignorance at this point. It has nothing to do because I'm
So
open.
you know that
no,
you-
like I'm literally open. Oh, you're a white girl. Let us see if this can work.
No,
But it's not working. Like it's literally not working.
What if it works for your kid?
No.
No.
I'm not talking about my
What's
kid.
that supposed to mean?
I'm not talking about my kid.
What if it works for your
My child coming up with a white girl.
Somebody else.
You love her. I'm a white girl.
Hold on.
I'm not.
Alright, everybody
You
chill.
said that it's not working.
Everyone chill.
But did you ever think about the fact that you already
Oh.
stopped it from working?
That's the
Preconceived
point.
notions.
Yeah, I never
There
did
we
that.
go.
I was open-minded. I
How
was
do you
really
know?
open.
But you already.
I was
you were
literally
waiting
open.
for
This
it
is
to-
Yo,
where
so you're
this is
canceled,
where I'm
okay?
saying
I'm
it's
sorry,
not
I'm
working
so sorry,
for
I'm
me.
canceled,
You're
but
waiting
I
for it
can't
to
do it.
stop working. You're
So
I'm not
wait.
waiting for it to stop
I understand
working.
if you don't want to,
take the
because that's
chance
your
to
personal
compromise
preference.
and really like try to take in like, okay, maybe if did you take the chance to explain to her like, hey, why don't you try my thing first, and then after we
Because some people are close-minded.
Yo, so wait,
I
Sosa.
wasn't
like, there's no
explaining.
time.
Sosa, hold on, guys. Hold on. Hold on.
You don't
So
want
wait,
to
Sosa,
explain, that's
Sosa. So I understand if your own personal preferences, you don't like white girls. But if your child brings home a girl he's really into, and she's a white
no love
race.
There's no love. There's confusion. There's no love.
Yo, wait. So what if their friends are white friends? Like you're not girlfriend, nothing.
I mean that. Okay, that one we can manage, but like, I'm just saying like, there's no love there. No.
So you know, there's privilege in your child having a white person as a If I'm dating a white girl, you better give me some white privilege shit.
Like what?
Let
him speak.
I want to go hiking. I've never been hiking before.
You don't have to be white to go hiking.
I want to go camping. You better need white people to skydive.
You don't need white people to skydive.
Sosa, will you skydive with me? I would.
That's
All my friends, none of my black friends, none of my black friends.
Hold on.
Go hiking.
I would hiking.
Go fishing.
I would rock
skydiving.
We talking about
White shit.
No,
White shit.
Hold on.
Nobody's doing no
Yo,
white shit.
we would never bring it. Like if you're saying, what's the motive? We're never gonna bring that up. But we're all about it though. We're all about it. If somebody's like, yo, let's go hiking, man, be like, wait, what's hiking?
Oh, I'm not gonna go
like in the woods? Nah,
this Saturday. Yo, let's go rock climbing. So just don't like such an apple club.
But yo,
So you want to get lost in the
Yeah, so if I am a white person,
you watch the white privilege?
but yo, haven't you guys noticed that? Look,
make my taxes go right. My credit.
Yo, haven't you guys noticed though? Like, no offense, white people are a little like crazy. Like, they're just a little crazy. Like, if you see in the white movies and some shit happens, the white
Come on,
people,
Billy, let's
white
go.
people are going towards the problem of black versus God. Like, don't you notice?
Yeah, but we
Hiking around wild animals.
Yeah, and shit is going right
I
into
can't
it. Like, no, we
disagree
need
with
to be
him
going
because
this
of the
way.
fact that-
Don't, not in there.
If I went with a bunch of black people to go camping, I would think we're doing it wrong. I just want to do it the right way. That's it.
I got you.
Like,
Just the right way. I got you.
No, the right way is whichever way you do it. Like,
I get it, but like I want to do it like the TV way. How?
nah,
see
in fact,
it.
if I go fishing and I want to throw rods in the water and I catch fish, I don't care which way I use the fishing rod. As long as you catch fish. As long as you drop fish now. As long as you drop fish. There's no wrong or right way to do it.
There's no way.
No, but I disagree with that.
Hold on, we have somebody. We have
That's what I'm
Soldier.
saying.
Soldier disagrees with Sunshine and Sosa.
See, this is why us black people don't evolve, man. This is why you have Asians owning BSWs and all that shit.
Yeah, that one cheated.
It does, yo. You guys are so stuck into what you guys know. Once you guys involve and do something that you guys don't normally do.
That's when we'll actually change for the better and experience
But
different
then
shit.
it
Is what you're
starts
trying
out
to say.
with how you raise your children.
Exactly.
And if you don't want your children, if you're not open to your children learning new things and having white friends and experience those things, then how do you think they're gonna evolve?
Exactly.
Like, if you're gonna stop your child from even involved, like, what do you expect? It's not going nowhere.
My child is gonna date a white person.
It's not going nowhere.
At least one time in their life.
If you have that same mindset that your parents had, how are you gonna evolve?
For me, right now, I'm even changing right now, yo. My playlist, I have Ed Sheeran. I have
Ed Sheeran. Yo.
You crossed the line with
guilty pleasure.
I
listen to Guns N' Roses. I listen to One Direction. Yo, guilty pleasure. I listen to white music. I won't even lie. I love white music. I listen to Coldplay, Imagine Dragons, My Direction.
But you don't listen to Billie Jean. Wait,
I was saying the differences. I was saying the differences there is if I want to listen to this, but she doesn't know that. That's a difference.
Okay, I mean back in the day.
But have you ever asked, like, yo, let's go skydiving, let's go do something different?
Like, the black people don't want
afraid of heights though.
I'm afraid of heights. I'll still go skydiving.
Oh, let's go scuba diving. Mans can't swim.
Not sure.
It's the lifestyle. What if every black 8% cannot swim? What are you trying to do? That's why we stay on the floor. We party, fam. We drink. Guess what? We have a higher tolerance, so we drink and we dance because we have rhythm. So we stick to what we're good at. I understand what Soja's saying. We have to branch out in order to find out, okay, what are the fun things in life that we aren't experiencing? Because, yo, I swear, sometimes it feels like white people just have more fun.
The thing is,
white people do goat yoga. What the fuck is goat yoga?
What is
they do that shit.
They do yoga with
goats. Billy goats. Billy goats.
Yeah.
They do yoga with Billy goats. Yo, the goats are shitting on their head, talking everything.
Don't kill me.
White people are adventurous.
Listen.
So how do you explain
we're gonna wrap it up with this last. We're gonna wrap it up with this. I'm gonna wrap it up with this last question that I kind of forgot. But so let's just keep talking.
All right.
I forgot it.
That's crazy.
Oh.
That's crazy.
Okay, so you're goat yoga. How you let the goat climb your body?
White people.
Why are we back on
It's just
this?
white people.
How you just like that?
Which is white.
They take risks. That's the thing. They take stupid risks.
I want to do something
We are
fun.
cultural, creative. Like, we're different. We bring something different to the table, and we live life like that because we're fine with it.
But if you really take
why am I going into the woods? Why am I climbing Mount Everest?
The risk taking that they did is the reason why they were able to take over America.
Facts.
Jamaica, all of those places. Did we think about crossing the water?
For what? We're happy.
We were happy.
Which guy crossed water?
Why would you think about going on the water where you know you can survive?
Only by boat. You can fly by water, fly by it.
I lie. I've been doing it from time.
We're just not content with anything.
Okay, I remember that question. Yo, we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up with this last question.
They're smart, but we just take so long to.
Exactly,
and then
that's
we
true.
push each other down. Like, does that?
Mostly
do you
on
ever
McDonald's.
Push each other down because of the way it is programmed.
It's competitive. I think we're the most competitive.
So that's why we need to.
We are. Black people are
evolve from
naturally
that.
competitive. Like a white person could see a man take his girl and like.
Alright,
dudes. Hey, no, man. We're still dudes, man. Like, no, bro.
I'm not buying a bigger ice cream.
So that's why we're always going to be competing with each other.
One thing I'll say is that white people have balls. Ask Soja. Last semester, a white guy came with a bicycle.
Yo, white people.
I took it down the stairs. I don't know how the man did it, but if it was me,
he rode it down the stairs.
What? You get arrested?
You get arrested in fam.
The man took a bicycle on the stairs.
BMX.
Some random white guy shit came to the school. The man doing BMX tricks and shit
on the table.
Yeah.
On the table, twisting and shit.
Yeah, yo.
No, I seen black people.
I'm there like
no, if I
done I seen black skateboarders
get arrested.
I would got arrested.
Inside the school.
You wouldn't see me on TV24.
Yeah, you can do
Max skateboard. Max skateboard. Fam, the man took the
I'm talking about us being adventurous, right? As a black person, you can take the risk because if you do that,
you die.
Not even dying. If I can see you
I think black
in a position of doing something a white person is meant to do.
Boss.
You're getting caught. Yo, you guys are acting like.
But I
feel like if you have money,
you guys like roller coasters?
Yes.
You guys like roller coasters?
Hell no.
I don't fuck with roller coasters. I don't fuck with scary movies.
I don't like roller coasters.
I love scary movies.
Because first of all, scary movies are real.
No, it's true.
If you're Nigerian, then you know
real.
First of all.
I don't like your movies.
Anyways,
That
shit's real. That juju shit is real. Number one.
I watch your movies.
And
I'm not sleeping for
roller
a
coasters,
week.
I can't.
I don't know what
The
you
feeling,
know.
the feeling of thrill, I just
Wasn't it like last week someone got stuck 10 minutes?
Yo, listen. I would go because
on Leviathan.
Wonderland.
Somebody got stuck at the top.
If I was there, I'm dead.
No.
I'm dying.
I have a heart attack on spot. At the top, you
the white
must
people
mud.
go like, yeah, this is fun, Bill.
This is not fun. Start vlogging and
This is
shit.
not
Like,
fun.
no, we can't do that.
one thing about me, if it's me,
Come
if it's
get
just
me,
me
dog.
by myself, I'll be scared. Now, if we're a group, I don't care if we die because we
Are
die
you
as a group.
This is one of the reasons why I don't go out with black people.
We die as a group.
That was so
So
sad
you
right there.
drink cancel.
You've been canceled twice.
No,
We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up now.
by myself.
Yeah, listen.
I'm mad.
We're gonna wrap it up,
First
but we're
one
gonna go
died,
back.
guys.
We're gonna go back to the same kind of topic that we
People are
had
strong.
with Jamaicans and Africans. I just want to know one thing: do you guys, as Africans, feel like if you're vibing to a Jamaican track, you know, you're dancing or you're doing something that Jamaicans or Caribbeans are known for doing, then you have Caribbeans come looking at you, why you guys trying to be Jamaican?
No,
You know?
I can
But
tell
then,
Jamaicans do.
hold on, let me finish my question.
I
Let me finish my question.
You
Do you think it's different where if a Caribbean person who's dancing to like African music, it's more welcoming? Like you see a Caribbean girl doing a zonto, you're gonna rate her more. Like
Because
come-
Africans are always accepting. If you taking our culture and you're making
Jamaicans
it,
are
we
too.
like
It's
that.
true,
it's true, it's
We
true.
really do.
Yeah.
We appreciate the fact that
Oh, yeah,
You
people
listen to
outside
African
us and
music.
you're doing it.
Guys get hyped. Oh my gosh, trust me.
But Jamaicans is like, what? Wait.
No,
No,
Jamaicans.
Because
So wait.
everybody
Caribbeans,
dances
not
around
even
music,
Jamaican.
you know?
Yeah.
You put Jamaicans
No, but
down,
you've
but
never-
you
so
turn
you
around
guys-
and act like one.
You guys are trying to tell me.
How?
You guys are trying to wait. Hold on.
Snap again.
Hold on. You guys are trying to tell me that you've never heard a Jamaican come up to you guys as Africans and say, "Stop trying to be Jamaican."
Never in my
That's
life.
Yes, I've
Okay.
100%.
Soja, stop
If
being
I'm
That's
like,
what the
let's say I'm at a party and there's
As a
Jamaican
joke.
music going on, and I'm doing the dances. Let's say you're even good at it, and they just be like, "Yo, like stop trying to be," or you like try and do
That's probably a
patois for
jealousy
fun.
thing.
Like you try and do patois, you try and
That's
sing patois for
different.
fun.
Don't be Jamaican.
They'll
I'm
say,
not
"Yo,
gonna lie, yo.
Africans, really.
The pattern
No,
is
I
different
can
still.
attest to that because like for me, like I started off doing like African dancing, and then me going to a lot of Caribbean parties and stuff. Like I evolved my dance.
And you learned
Caribbean dances. I never had that where a Caribbean came to me and said, "Yo, soldier, like stop that, you're African." Like they even embrace the fact that I'm African and do.
Like if you can do the dance move properly,
Yeah.
no matter what race you're
race
from,
you
you're
are,
gonna get rated.
Yeah.
Look
She
at
even had the gunshot.
okay.
Rasta.
Go on Instagram and look up White Chocolate 758 or whatever. It's this white guy who went to St. Lucia from like British Columbia who can whine properly. He's loved. He gets paid to
Trust
whine.
me.
So our culture.
Wait.
Our culture is what is our symbol? Our symbol is out of many one people.
So
We're not
if-
gonna just
so
discriminate
like the
because
only
you
time
are
we're gonna
African.
make fun of you is if you can't do the
Do
moves.
it, that's
But everybody
If you can't do the
that,
moves
you
and
know?
they come up to you, then that means you can't do the moves. But if you're doing the moves, they're gonna rate you. They're gonna give you all a nickname. Yeah, they'll probably
But then
call you
Africans
something
are
like
different.
like
Even if
some
you're doing it
African.
wrong, you're
Yeah.
still gonna hype
No, but
you
not gonna lie,
up.
for us Africans,
You're
yo,
doing
like,
it wrong,
effort,
you're doing
though.
it right. Just to fucking, you're doing it.
No, some of you guys are
Already.
gonna. Some of you guys are gonna.
No.
No,
But like if you
I'm
can't
not.
do it,
Take,
then, yeah,
take
then
it
even
out of
me.
it.
If I can't do
I'm
my
other
own dance
Africans.
moves, look at them. They were dissing me on my own cultural dance moves. So clearly, it's.
We were. I
Relax.
was. I was. I
chill.
knew that. I was.
So that's all that matters. All we care about is that you do it right if you're gonna do it at all.
Yeah.
But we don't care about your color, whatever. The matter of fact, if you're not from our race,
It's
or
more
if
big it
like,
up
we're
even
gonna
more.
hype you,
Yo,
we
like-
hype you even more because it's just like, whoa,
We
where
ever
did
see
you
a
learn
white
If
that
it comes
from?
off as disrespectful or you're trying to make fun of the race, then it's
then
a
it's different.
problem.
Yeah,
But that's
it's different.
that's what they take it as. Like if you can't do it properly, you're just sitting there joking, like just you're either having fun trying to learn or you're trying to disrespect and imitate.
So what culture
That
do you guys
shit
think is more
runs.
accepting?
more
African.
accepting? No, we're not.
Why does it have to be a
No,
competition?
when someone is
Jamaican-
doing something,
Jamaicans are more accepting.
You guys don't even date other race. Like
Like we,
No, we're not.
like Jamaicans, like we're more accepting of every culture. That's why if you go in,
If I go to
right
Jamaica,
now,
you're gonna see white people.
you're gonna
like,
see
at
white,
beaches.
Chinese,
Yeah, you're Chinese.
and you go down, you go to
Facts.
Eglinton right
100%.
now. Go to Eglinton right now. Go into Randy's, see who's running it, and hear that
Answer the
Chinese lady's
question
accent.
first. Have you guys been to Lagos?
Lagos.
Lagos.
No, too far.
Nigeria.
But that's a city,
Because I'm
right?
going to go there.
Okay, don't say that.
But it's a city. Okay, but that's a city.
I was trying to defend you so
Go to any
my
city,
That's too
go
far.
to
Like, I see
any
the
major
button. I need the button.
populated city that's
What?
like everybody's gonna go to Lagos. That became a tourist site.
Yeah, it's a tourist spot.
So then you cannot compare a tourist site to a country that even if you
Has
go into the
residents.
country,
Yeah, they have residents of other like.
we
I
have
don't
like
wanna be
German
ignorant right
towns,
now.
Spanish
I'm not
towns.
gonna lie, I disagree.
I really don't want to be
disagree.
ignorant, but just
Yo,
Lagos
can I
alone
say-
is bigger than the
No,
whole
it's not even
country.
that. So
Exactly.
like,
Lagos alone is bigger than.
no, the reason why you
Jamaica.
guys are more accepting because you guys are used to like other cultures taking.
Like we
Sorry.
are the
What?
most.
No, wait, hold on.
Taking what?
Taking what?
Like you
This
know,
man's-
like if you
Like
look-
another culture came in and
Nah, but you look at
Taking
history, you know, like white people did this, took you guys like, and put in an island, you know.
know,
You
Yo,
guys,
it's time to wrap this
So
up.
it's hard.
too
And
far.
so
You know,
it's
you're
easy
trying
for
to
them to
say-
accept.
Yeah,
No, you're
You
trying
guys
to say
have
that we are
white-
Lagos.
On that note, on that note, that is
No, Sasha.
And Gus,
Wait.
Alright, yo, on that note,
Wait.
thank you guys for
It's a
tuning in to
banger.
Keepsix, episode 4. We'll be back. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.